All right, what's up, ladies and gents? Thank you all for tuning in. I've had a very long day, but Bitcoin is going to be making my day even longer. Let's take a look at what's going on here on the chart. We have managed to reach $66,000 today. In fact, we've gone all the way up to 66.7, which is the speculative target I was telling you guys about in yesterday's video. Shout out to those of you that are subscribed watching all of that content. And it's the level that I reaffirmed in today's video. Enjoyed seeing you on the moon today. Thank you very much, dude. Guys, as you're coming in, do me a favor and smash up those likes. We have got a phenomenal day of price action and another live stream. I've got pretty much unlimited time for this one. I do have a time limit, but it's very far away. So I'm here with you guys for as long as you want me here. Do me a favor and drop those likes in as you are coming along. We hit 500 likes on the last live stream that I did around this time. So it would be great to see something even higher. So if you do find these live streams useful, if you find these videos entertaining, if you're like my boy, what's his name, Gerald, in the comment section, not even a trader, but I subscribe anyway for the colorful commentary. If you're like Gerald over here, then yeah, smash them up, ladies and gents, and let's see what's going on in this chart, because we have managed to get a really nice big move up from here. We moved up, and like I said in that video, we kind of just traded sideways, and now we've moved up again. I mean, there's nothing left, ladies and gents. This is the same story that we've been covering for a long time. It's not changing. If we take a look at where Bitcoin is now compared to its previous all-time high, it's above everything from early 2021, and it's at the all-time high that we set in October, and basically brushing up against that all-time high that we set in November afterwards. So really, really cool, exciting stuff here. And I think what's very important to keep in mind at this stage in the market, just kind of comparing where Bitcoin is compared to where it was all those years ago, is that when you get up to this kind of price range, it's really quick that you actually set new highs. Like, it doesn't take much time for Bitcoin to break resistance and just rally up, and in one day you get a major price move. That actually happens really quickly at this stage in the market now. So and you can see that from this price action. We've got 200 viewers here, by the way. Guys, smash those likes up as you are coming in. Obviously, as usual, we're going to be going through your questions as well in this live stream. If you take a look at these candlesticks that we're producing here, really nice big candlestick here, but just measuring it from low to high, that is a $4,000 day, right? So we've already had quite a busy day. There's no doubt about that. Bitcoin started off with this daily candle about $3,000 lower, if I'm not mistaken, according to this. So we have definitely had a busy day today. Bitcoin has been very productive. And that is often, I mean, all of these daily candles up by at least a couple $1,000s, right? Here's a $2,000 candle. This is again a 1.8K candle. This, of course, is a 4K candle. So, and obviously it happens to the downside too. This is a $3,000 candle going down. But this entire price range, we've got a very thin atmosphere. And so price moves actually happen very quickly and very explosively. So I think that is a really big deal, giving us a strong indication that actually, this market now doesn't have anything left in terms of resistance and should be able to continue rising up. Anybody that tries to predict resistance here, I don't know what you're looking at. I actually don't know how you can find that, and at the same time, all of those negative factors that I've been outlining for you guys do still hold true in my opinion, and that is something else which we're going to be covering. Now, I also want to cover with you guys some really cool altcoin stuff and some very, very interesting profit opportunities across other markets. This is one of those times now where, look, I mean, things could go tits up and it just gets really bad, but for me, it's like make hay while the sun is shining. I think this right now is where you could be seeing some really, really nice, profitable trading setups starting to present themselves. So I'm going to cover them with you later on in this live stream as well. We're going to wait for this live stream to kind of start, stabilizing and, people start, kind of finding it. So if you do want to get there, do me a favor and pump those likes up a little bit. That's going to help us reach everybody we need to reach. And that's when I'm I'm very, very excited. That's when I'm going to start looking at some of those really cool profit opportunities. I've got them all kind of outlined here. But right now, I mean, especially since the last video that I put out, we've seen a really nice continuation. It's been a nice healthy move. We're continuing to go, fairly quickly. I mean, nothing's like particularly out of character from what I would expect, to be honest, ladies and gents. I mean, you'd expect nice quick moves with nice quick consolidation followed by continuation. I mean, that is basically all you can get at this stage in the market, and it's continuing to show us that. I mean, now we're a solid few percentage points above that 64k price range. We do have a potential really nice kind of setup for support, to then rally this thing up from here. So that is definitely something which I would be interested in seeing Bitcoin produce in terms of some support. And we're going to start seeing that with our indicators as well, right? Our hourly Ichimoku cloud now already, and this is granted, a few days later. Well, actually, it's tomorrow. But our hourly Ichimoku cloud already providing some support to Bitcoin if it manages to kind of tumble back down to that $64,000 price range. So that is something which I think we're going to be keeping an eye on. Somebody's saying Coinbase is down. So obviously we get this, a little bit these days again. But let's see if there's anything about Coinbase here on Twitter. Doesn't look like it just from initially scrolling, but we will be going through some of the Twitter stuff later on in this live stream. Obviously, the Twitter stuff is always very fun to read and, just kind of see what's going on. I really respect this guy, by the way. This guy actually shows his losses when he's losing money, so good stuff, because it's not obviously always sunshine and rainbows in this space. Meme coins are a massive part of the rage right now, and we're going to be covering that in this live stream as well. That is definitely something which I think is interesting. I got a couple meme coin charts that I want to be covering with you. Let's take a look at this. Flood is always an interesting guy. If you feel like you're underperforming and feel upset or unlucky, take a look at yourself and really think, what have I done? What have I actually done to outperform? Edge is here in this market, but you have to put in the work in and try and find it. Yeah, I mean, this is an interesting one. I think a lot of people right now are kind of bitter about not doing as well as they should have, and honestly, including me. I would love to be much further ahead, considering that we're at the all-time high, and I've been saying that to you guys quite openly. Like I'm so heavily in crypto, and I just really feel like I should have been heavier in. Couldn't really have done anything, to be honest, but I think that honestly is a good awareness to have at this stage, because if there's any bitterness that you want to feel, what I want to remind you about is that this thing has not even started yet. Like if we truly are, and I'm not saying we are, but if we truly are heading into a bull phase where there's going to be fantastic opportunities to make money in this market, if that is truly what we're headed into right now, well then we are at the beginning of all of the opportunities presenting themselves. I mean, this is just, it's not even like 2% of the opportunities we're going to have, and that's actually really exciting to think about, because it means that there could be some really, really nice payments coming in for us, if we are being attentive in this market. So that is super, super cool. Pirate Boy in the comments saying we are early. We definitely could be, man. I mean, like I said, if we haven't even broken the all-time high yet, there is so much more to come, which is definitely a very, very exciting prospect in this market. And of course, I do want to highlight to those of you who haven't already that these are some phenomenal offers available for you guys in the description, where you can actually take advantage of this stuff, these opportunities that are upcoming, and position yourself to make money for free. Bybit's giving you up to 30k for free to trade with, and any profits you generate on that capital are yours to keep. And they're also just giving you a straight up $500 free Bitcoin position. So that is super, super cool. If you have been referred to Bybit by me, but you haven't received your bonuses, it's probably because you haven't done KYC yet. So if you want this 30k, you got to do your KYC, you got to start trading. But after that, they will send it into your account. And with this, I think it's the same. You definitely need to do KYC. I don't know if you actually have to start trading, but yeah, very, very cool indeed. And some phenomenal no KYC alternatives as well, which are also worth checking out. So let me talk to you a little bit about some of the key chart patterns we were already watching. I've covered with you some of these interesting targets. We've already hit this one. I also covered with you a slightly different target right here, $77,000 in terms of rallying up, and we are well on our way to fulfill that right now as well, which is super, super cool. It's still far away. It's still about $10,000 away, but I think we have done quite well, all things considered. And if we really do zoom in and take a look at what we're actually, hey, thank you guys for 100 likes. That is absolutely amazing. As you guys are interacting with this live stream, we're actually reaching more people, which is absolutely sick. And I'm going to be covering with you guys some of those really cool altcoin opportunities I'm seeing in this market as we continue to smash this higher. So if you are enjoying these live streams, if you do find them useful, do me a favor and engage with this live stream a little bit. This is my third recording of the day, by the way. I did a YouTube video, I did a live stream with Carl the Moon, and now a live stream again. Then I've got a meeting after this, and I had to rush out of bed this morning too. So it's been a long day for your boy, but we're still here. We're still getting it. Absolutely ready for this market. Take a look at this on the 5-minute time frame here. It was literally just a matter of a few minutes ago, 30 minutes, where we were sitting up here, $600 higher at about 66.9 on this chart, which is super, super cool indeed. Stepping in at an all-time high is not smart. Yeah, I mean, I've got some people asking me, should I buy stuff like that? I mean, look, I could tell you yes, and I would be like the popular YouTuber that, gets all of the respect and admiration, but actually, no, I think this is a really bad time to be buying. And honestly, that would, in a world where people are smart, get you even more respect and admiration. And that's definitely happening with those of you that are a little bit more switched on. But, I mean, generally speaking, no, I think this is actually a really bad time to be getting into the market right now. Like, that time was fucking $30,000 ago, when we broke above our critical area of resistance, right? But, obviously, if you're still kind of sidelined now, I really don't know what to say. I do still feel personally like a pullback is coming, and I'm going to be very interested in buying it. And of course, if we do zoom out, we're going to be able to put into perspective how crazy this price action is, right? I mean, if we take a look at this on let's just take another random Bitcoin chart that I've got and probably we'll just refresh this chart now. We don't need any of these lines anymore. This is an absolutely crazy chart, ladies and gents. Look at this on the weekly time frame, right? I mean, from this candle here right up until the current week, which is 7 weeks, not 6, we've only had one small reversal in between. And other than that, it's like a bullish sandwich with like a really small amount of filling. That's basically what we're looking at right now, which is absolutely hilarious. And shout out to Frank from Sweden hitting up that like button. Thank you very much. We've got huge price action taking place here, followed by massive continuation today. And today's just a Monday. So that is definitely a really big deal. On the monthly time frame, it's just been straight up for so long now. I mean, really since this low, we haven't seen a big correction. And on the monthly, we've barely seen anything at all. And this really does kind of strike hard how long this has been. That's 15 months of trending up basically without any significant pullback now. The best we got was a 20%, 22% drop, which, that's good, but that's really not as good as it should be. It should be a little bit deeper than that. And, wick to wick, we do have, some bigger drawbacks, in some places than it looks, right? Again, this is minus 21, but again, it's only minus 21 and these are minus 22, right? We're not actually seeing big pullbacks anywhere on this chart. And to me, it just doesn't make sense. Like, it actually looks, and we can probably measure this, I'm not sure, but it actually looks more aggressive to me than 2021. Let's see. It's pretty much on par, isn't it? Yeah, maybe a touch less aggressive than 2021. It's hard to say, honestly. It basically looks like it's more or less on par with 2021 in terms of aggression, which, fair enough, but I don't know if I see that being the case right now. I do still think that this has got to be due for a bit of a correction, and I do want to show you guys a crazy chart once we get this thing up to 200 likes. There's a very, very interesting chart I want to show you guys. I've already shown it to you guys before, but I do want to bring it back to your attention again and expand on that a little bit as well. So that is something I'm going to get to shortly. But yeah, huge price action here on the monthly. Now, granted, obviously, let's please keep in mind we're only 4 days into March, right? Only 3 days depending on your time zone. No, 4 days depending, regardless of where you are, maybe even 5 depending on your time zone now. So, this is definitely a candle that could end up looking very different, by the end of the month. That is definitely something which I think is important to keep in mind. It might not stay this way, but at the moment, the way it is another massive candle in a row, you know, without any kind of relief. And this has been going on now for, including this month, for 7 months, which I think is really, really important to keep in mind. Why are you mad is asking, do you have high hopes for an all-time high if we keep going up this aggressive? Yeah, I mean, high hopes is not how I would phrase it, but I do think we're very likely to set a new all-time high because of the price action that we've been displaying. You know, I think that this is your very, very typical price action before an all-time high comes in. But of course, that kind of rejection could come in at any point, and it's basically impossible to predict it. Like, I wouldn't even try and bother predicting when or where it's going to top out. I don't think that's a productive exercise in the least. And instead, what I actually think makes more sense is just, you know, kind of wait for those invalidations. And if those invalidations do come in, then you can start to think, all right, you know, maybe we're entering a bit of a downtrend now. We're definitely due for it. And maybe there's going to be better prices to buy this thing a little bit later on. And that is my take on this market. You know, that I feel quite confident and happy to say that, because I'm still in the very same long position that you guys have kept seeing me talk about for a very, very long time. It's honestly just a new profit number every time I open the damn Bybit app, which is absolutely hilarious. But let's take a look at where we are now. Yeah, damn near 2,100% profit now, which is absolutely crazy. That's a 22 times gain. Take a look at that, ladies and gents. Right there, that is a 2,100% profit right there, and a small 800% profit on my TRX position as well. So, you know, that's all going down on Bybit, and the reason that I'm in such a big profit right now, this 220% profit, the reason I'm able to pull this on Bitcoin is purely and solely because I didn't close it. Because I didn't see an invalidation, and that was basically it, right? Like, and I had to make this point when I was live with Carl the Moon a couple of hours ago. I was like, look, if you don't follow this rule of only closing trades when you're invalidated, then it's like saying that $1 million is nice, but you don't want $5 million. Like, that is literally what you'd be doing. You'd be like, yeah, okay, I made 5K, but you know what? I don't want 25K, so I'm just going to leave it here. Like, you know, it's ridiculous, and it sounds as funny and stupid as it is, because that's actually what you're saying if you're deciding to prematurely close your positions. If it's not that, it's that you're scared of yourself, and in that case, you're, you know, scrambling to keep any gains that you've made because you know you're going to lose money in the future, so you're just playing on like a really dirty, stressful game of defense, and that obviously doesn't work either. So you know, you've got to be able to pay for your losers. You've got to be able to make more money than you're losing. And that means keeping your positions open until they're invalidated, right? That is the school of thought that I follow in particular, right? That doesn't mean it's right for you, but it has been right for a lot of people throughout history, especially the greatest traders. So I'm happy to roll with that as well. It seems to be working for me as well, right? So I think that's a really important note to be keeping in mind. I think that a lot of people actually miss stuff like that and aren't able to internalize really, really important trading skills like that. But you will be doing that at your own peril, ladies and gents, you know, if you are so reckless as to not keep these things in mind. So please, 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 you know, consider the power in keeping your positions until you're invalidated. And then what does the invalidation look like? It's literally just, you know, when you stop setting higher lows, right? And it's going to vary, right? Like, sometimes you will set slightly lower lows and, you know, you're just not really going to pay attention to it, right? But generally speaking, and you'll get more of a feel of this as you trade, you're not going to be looking for, you know, for example, this low to be breached now. And as long as that happens, then you can be quite confident that we are still in an uptrend, right? And that's absolutely fantastic. And if you start to see those signs cracking, that's where you can actually start to make some money, actually, you know. And I've actually already shown this on Carl the Moon's live stream, but I want to show it to you guys right here on this channel because you guys know how much I love you all. If we take a look at this right here from our all-time high in 2017, let's say just down to here, just for, you know, just for argument's sake, just to make it easy, I want to go ahead and bring this up over here and just show you something which is really, really important to keep in mind. Now, let's say, and this is obviously not the case, so some people will take it out of context, that's your business, but please try not to. Let's say that this is the actual top for Bitcoin and Bitcoin is not going higher. If that is the case, then you might see a chart pattern like this, because this is very typical of a market topping out, right? And what that actually means, and it'll probably be a lot faster than this, but what that actually means is you're going to set your high, you're going to crash down by a lot. By the way, this would be way more severe in terms of price action. Let me actually show you what this would look like if this was real. It would probably look a lot more like this, yeah? That's what you'd expect. And so what you'd get is a really, really big crash, right? I mean, from high down to low by like 30%, and it would happen in like 2-3 days, maybe even more. I mean, last time it was about a 50% crash in 2017. And then you'll get your rally back up, right? And this is kind of where you can start to exit, because you can see that we're definitely in a downtrend, and now we're kind of coming back up. And by the way, there are caveats to this, because in the moment, it just looks like this is another bounce as part of standard procedure. This all looks like another bounce as part of standard procedure, so you wouldn't even question it. But, you know, the way I'm talking about this, like, you would be able to say, look, like, we kind of found a bit of resistance there. We're finding resistance again. We're not able to get above this high. I'm probably going to sell. Like, this is, like, right here is where you'd be getting very suspicious that the market's going to die. And then you're going to see that there's this area of support, and it lines up with this prior area of interest. And so as soon as we lose this level, this is probably the sell, right? Like, you've been able to see that the price crashed down massively. We didn't set a new high. Now we're coming back down, and we've lost the neckline. You would sell right here. And if you miss that sell, you'd sell on this back test, right? Because we do get the back test. And that way, you're actually selling at a very, very good price compared to how low it goes. And obviously, again, in real life, it would go a lot more extreme than this. Like, typically, you're looking at, you know, and just to give you like a sense of proportion, it would, you know, it could reasonably be something like this, where, you know, you get to sell up here at $47,000 compared to at the low at $30,000. And there's a very big price difference between these two areas. This is, you know, you're going to need another 60% just to get back up here, right? So this really does help kind of put things into perspective about how you can kind of get out of bad positions. And this is if you're relatively conservative, how you could do it, right? But, you know, I do think that is really, really important at this stage in the market. That's going to be a skill which is going to be useful for a lot of you guys, hopefully, you know, in the near future, because the sooner it happens, the better for this market's general health, and the better for its uptrend as well, if that is the case. We're very close to that 200 like mark. I do want to show you guys a very interesting chart once we get there, so if you are enjoying this, do me a favor and smash them up. It's only a 15% rise to get to 77k. Yes, sir, it is. That sounds absolutely huge. Let's see what else we've got here in the comments. Sammy, if there's going to be a retracement in the next 2 months, how big do you think it would be percent-wise? I mean, I really don't know, John. It's incredibly hard to say, but I think one thing I am pretty certain about is that the market's not going to give you what you want, right? And I think a lot of people probably just looking at this chart want that $42,000 Bitcoin, for example. That's something which I'm not sure if the market's going to give you. I think it's either going to kind of undershoot it a little bit, let's say 45, 46k, or overshoot it a little bit, you know, but I don't know if it's actually going to come down there. But in either of those cases, if it starts to correct now, a 30% drop is so healthy. It puts Bitcoin right at 46k, and a 40% drop is also incredibly healthy because it puts Bitcoin right at 39k, right? And these are both really, really important price levels. So, you know, there's no lose for Bitcoin, and I think that's really, really important to keep in mind. See, we managed to rise up really quickly, so we're probably going to come down really quickly as well, but it's only going to bring us down to really important price levels where we can then kind of restart the trend. And this is another point I made on that live stream, ladies and gents, which is that when you're in a bullish market and you come back down and you actually manage to turn an old area of resistance into a new area of support, you know, there's nothing more bullish than that, because it means that the bulls have given the bears a chance. They've given the bears a window of opportunity. If they've thrown the ball in the court of the bears, you know, and now the bears are left with the decision. What are they going to do with this? Are they going to pick it up and run with it, or are they just going to miss? And, you know, when they miss, that is your sign to the bulls. Like, all right, bulls back in your court now. What are you doing, bulls, right? And the bulls are obviously going to choose to pump this thing higher. So that definitely looks really, really good, in my opinion, from that particular perspective, and definitely something which I think is going to be an important factor in terms of, you know, understanding that, yeah, I mean, and these things are uncomfortable to keep in mind, right? Like this is one of the reasons that I also tell you guys, like, you know, when you listen to this kind of analysis, you kind of know that it makes sense, because it's just not, it's not that sexy, it's not that exciting, it's honestly like a little bit underwhelming, but that is what the market is. Like, even when the market is rising up like this, it is still a little bit underwhelming because it's not moving right in the way that you want it to. And you know, when you've kind of understood that that's how these things are, they're just not as cool as you make them out to be in your mind, you know, then you're going to be stepping a little bit closer to truth, to reality. And that's obviously an incredibly powerful, profitable position to be in this market. I do want to go through a couple more questions in this comment section before we carry on with the analysis. And of course, I also want to cover with you guys the S&P 500, which has been doing so well in this market overall. Today is a bit of an interesting day in terms of its price action, so that is something which I am going to speak to you about a little bit later on in this live stream about as well. Perpetual Prince says, lol, you've been in that long position for a long time. Respect for the discipline and awareness to let it run until invalidation. Yeah, and I've closed a lot of it. I mean, there's basically nothing left in it compared to what I opened, but the profit is still so big because the actual percent gain is so big as well, right? And that is absolutely fantastic. You know, I mean, you just can't, you know, when you've been in the space for 7 years like I have, you just can't make yourself still commit the same mistakes that you really shouldn't be at this stage. And that's how I've been able to know that, yeah, I mean, if a position is making me money and if I haven't been invalidated yet, I don't have a reason to close it. I'm going to take a look at some of your altcoin requests a little bit later on in this live stream, just to let you know. Sammy, when does the correction come in? You know, again, I think that's the entire point of this live stream, so probably just rewind and you'll understand a bit of that. Where do you think the S&P 500 will go in the near term? Yeah, good question, dude. So let's go ahead and switch this up to the S&P 500. And if we take a look at this daily open that we've had today, it was slightly lower than the last traded price of the S&P 500, which does imply, I mean, you can't even say a bit of weakness, but whatever. I think, you know, I mean, this has started off as a pretty strong Monday candle. There's still a long time left to go. There's about 4 hours left in this candle right now, so for this daily chart. So there is definitely that. Bloody is saying gold has broken out, and yes, that is actually one of the things I want to cover with you in this YouTube video. I've got a phenomenal gold chart that I want to show you all in this YouTube video as well. And just keep in mind that you can actually trade gold directly on BingX. Well, it's not direct because it's on BingX, but you can actually trade gold with leverage as well using BingX, link down below, which is a phenomenal no KYC alternative to Bybit. So definitely check it out. You're going to get up to $135,000 in exchange bonuses when you sign up using my link down below. And Bybit, like I said, when you've done your KYC and started trading using my link, they're going to give you up to 30K. And again, that is free capital that you can throw into the market with another free $500 Bitcoin position as well. Absolutely sick. So I will talk to you guys about gold in a little bit, but that is tradable right here on BingX. Highly, highly unusual that a crypto market allows you to trade traditional finance markets, but BingX does allow it. So that is definitely very, very cool. Sammy, how have you been aside from crypto? Thank you, dude, for asking. Yeah, I've been good, man. I've been super busy. Very, 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 very busy. Very active. I've been really taking my fitness very seriously. So that's been cool. But today I am just super tired. That is definitely the case. I'm going to sleep very, very well tonight. So I am excited for that. Sammy, is this the first time we're going to go above all-time high before a halving? Dude, that's a really good question, Zahib. That is a very, very good question. Let's take a look at that. So Zohaib is asking, have we ever gone above the all-time high before the halving? Well, we didn't do it back here. Let's see what else and I don't know if I have all the halvings on this chart, but we didn't do it back here, and we didn't do it back here. So, and that's all the halvings I have on this chart. So, I mean, definitely in the last 12 years, the answer is yes. We have never gone above our all-time high before the halving, and that's one of the reasons that I still think that there's, you know, a bit of a drop coming. Like, this would be completely uncharted territory, first time ever, and I do think it's unrealistic and unreasonable and ridiculous, and all of those factors kind of combined tell me that this thing isn't necessarily going to be able to you know, push its way. Guys, we're so close to, speaking of pushing its way, we're so close to that 200 like mark, so smash them up if you haven't already. I want to show you that super, super cool chart once we get there. You know, we haven't actually been able to do that yet. And in fact, in every time before the halving, we're getting a nice big crash. It was actually a 50% crash back there. You know, and if it doesn't happen before the halving, it maybe starts before and then continues afterwards. And from this high down to this low, that is a 40% drop. And from this high to this low, that's another kind of 25, right? So we're definitely seeing that these things do drop pretty hard, whether it's before or after or both. You know, and we just haven't had that yet, right? Like, and obviously the 2019, 2020 COVID crash one was pretty obvious, right? This was like a 68% drop. But again, like, we move it to right now and there's just no correction. Like, what was it, this one? Like, come on, it's obviously not this correction. There's going to be something more substantial, or it's just going to be the first time in Bitcoin's history that we don't produce it. It's either going to happen before the halving or after the halving, but we haven't had it yet. So, you know, I don't know if it's, you know, like, it would be the first time from what I've seen that we'd be going above the all-time high before the halving. And again, like, it doesn't have to be like the end of the world and then that means we're definitely, like super bullish, or that we're definitely absolutely fucked. It just means that things are very crazy, very unreasonable, very hyped up right now. Personally, I wouldn't even take a bet, on whether or not we're going to break that all-time high before the halving, but I do think it's overwhelmingly likely at this stage, because we're literally like, from the high that we were at a couple of minutes ago, actually we're still there. This is just an out-of-date chart, but from, where we are right now, 66.5, we are literally like $3,000 away. It's like 5%, not even, away from that all-time high at this stage. So I really don't think that there's much standing in Bitcoin's way. And I also think that it's worth taking into account, by the way, nobody seems to talk about this, but if you've been paying attention, like, some of these Bitcoin charts have actually broken their all-time highs, right? Like Bitcoin against the pound, for example, if we take a look at this, is already above its previous all-time high from 2021. If we look at Bitcoin against the euro, right? I mean, all of these major coins, generally speaking, across the board, apart from coins that are like more valuable than the dollar and also more strong than the dollar, they are still reflecting that Bitcoin is above its all-time high. So, and it's not above its all-time high against the dollar, but this is just a measure of inflation, right? One thing that we know for sure is that while the dollar has been getting absolutely decimated, other currencies have been getting fucked much worse, right? So again, if we take a look at Bitcoin against the Turkish lira, for example, I believe that is how you spell Turkish lira. Well, we don't really have it here. Let's take a look at another chart like OKX and see what's going on there. Yeah, nothing really. We need a chart with a lot of price history. I'm going to find it though. Bear with me, because I am curious about showing this to you. Here's Binance. I don't think it goes back far enough. Oh, no, it does. It's just the Turkish lira got so fucking decimated. But I mean, this is just a straight uptrend against the Turkish lira. I mean, from this all-time high to current day, we're already up by 2.5x, which is, just a heinous display of how absolutely destroyed this currency has been. Bitcoin against the Norwegian krona. I don't know how you spell it. Is it NRK? I'm not sure how to bring that up. What the abbreviation for Norwegian krona is, but some of these currencies, there will be exceptions, but broadly speaking, it is because of inflation that Bitcoin is above its all-time high, and I think that's also one of the reasons that Bitcoin's here in the first place. But that doesn't necessarily matter. As long as we're making money, we're still happy, obviously. But I do think that that is important. Someone's saying NOK. Let's just take a look if there is anything. Doesn't look like there is a Norwegian krona chart, actually, so that's interesting. Anyway, we're not going to waste time on that. We don't need to worry about that just for this minute here, because it doesn't really matter to the point. The point is that that these other currencies have gotten decimated in and of themselves, and that's before we even look at the dollar, which the dollar always steals the limelight when we talk about a dying currency, but every other currency is dying faster than the dollar. So it's a very interesting position for sure. Sammy, for example, in what situation you would consider to close long position recently? Like I said, I'm waiting for the invalidation, right? Like, if I don't get the invalidation, I can't close my long position. So the situation for me to close my long position would be an invalidation. And what does invalidation mean? Well, how would I invalidate at what price level do I stop being bullish? That's basically the question. Honestly, because we've ran up so strongly, I would stop being bullish, and this is crazy, you guys are gonna just think I'm crazy, but I don't know, honestly, probably 24K, that would be my invalidation, where I'm like, you know what, okay, I don't want to be in this position anymore. Look, if I had an invalidation which was more than 20% at any given point, I would have been out of my position, and that would have been very nasty. If we drop down by 20% now, take a look at this right here. If we drop down by 20% now, that puts us at 52K. That means if we fall down here, I don't want to be in my long position anymore. That's ridiculous. Of course I want to be in my long position down there. If we fall down here, then yes, I still want to be in my long position. In fact, these price levels make me more inclined on being in my long position, because it means we're having a better reset, which means we're probably going to rally up way higher. So, I think that those are actually really bullish outcomes. So for me, it's the 30K level. I guess I could actually move this invalidation up to 27, 26, but I would need to see these lows getting swept, honestly. Like, these would be, my kind of breaking point for this market. Anything below 30K, we're still in deviation territory. But granted, it would be a big drop. And it's actually highly unusual that Bitcoin can recover from a drop this big down to that 30K level. I mean, to fall down by 50% and then, kind of come back up would be unusual. But we did that last time with the COVID crash. And granted, this was the COVID crash. This was a black swan event. So, maybe not the same, obviously, but, I think that, that's kind of how I'd answer that question. Like, for me, below 30K is hella bearish according to Bloody. Well, yes and no. I mean, yes, below 30K is pretty bearish, but, I mean, you'd easily expect a kind of deviation down here, right? And then, kind of continue on higher. Like, that'd actually be really good for the market. So, Rune is asking never under 30K again. I mean, dude, never say never. That's my take there. I mean, did we? I never thought that Bitcoin would go below 20K again. I didn't. I really didn't. I didn't think Bitcoin would go below 20K. If we fell below 20K, I thought it would go down to 18 at the fucking most, and it actually went down to 15 and a half. Like, never say never. Like, it can. And by the way, it doesn't have to be quick. I mean, it took Bitcoin about 600 days to come back down to those lows after we broke above the 20K all-time high in 2020. So it doesn't have to be quick, but to act like it'll never happen, I mean, you're playing the wrong game. You honestly just shouldn't even be on this YouTube channel if you kind of think in those absolutes like that, because you're just walking yourself into traps. It's going to be a very bad day for you. I've actually just had some trading view alerts go off. Interesting. Solana is just dropping back down right now, down to 128. This is a pretty big drop for Solana. Let's take a look at this right here. Let me remove some of these lines. There we go. I can't seem to remove this line. This line's... How do I remove this line? This line's... yeah, there we go. Yeah, nice big drop here on Solana, which is really interesting. Is this just Bitcoin's dominance climbing? Yeah, it seems... Oh, shit, I'm not showing this to you. Yeah, here's Solana. Take a look at this. Just, losing a lot of its gains from, up 8% and now kind of falling back down a little bit. So that is definitely interesting right there. Always very good to be having trading view alerts. Always very, very useful. Yeah, just throwing that in the group chat because this is definitely a coin that I'm interested in kind of watching. But we've got, and by the way, it looks like this is isolated to Solana, which is interesting. This is nice. I actually like doing live analysis with you guys on these streams. I'm going to come back to Solana in just a second, though. Or am I? Let's see. This is actually a really good setup to me. So I don't know why it's dropping. Let me just take a look at this really quick because this is a long position that I considered taking. And like I said, ladies and gents, you've got phenomenal offers. Just feel free to check these out while you're watching this live stream so that you get these bonuses locked in and ready to go when you're ready to trade. Obviously, those of you that have already got huge amounts of extra capital behind you, which you can deploy into the market. And that is super, super cool. So if you like the sound of that, then check these links out. Bybit remains the best in the game, and these two are phenomenal non-KYC alternatives, especially BingX with access to traditional finance markets. Check that out while we're in this stream here. Solana against Bitcoin is seeing a bit of a drop right now. This is actually a very interesting chart. We seem to have found resistance there, and we're going to be dropping down. But that makes sense because Bitcoin's dominance has been on a bit of a rip lately, and obviously the higher Bitcoin goes, the higher we're going to expect its dominance to go as well. So and that's just because when Bitcoin is making money, we've made this case many times, if Bitcoin is making money for people, then they don't necessarily need to be in riskier positions because they don't need to take on risk to make money, right? So if you have the choice between making money here in a not so risky way and making money here in a very risky way, well, if the choice is in front of you, you're always going to choose this option, right? So that's how we tend to see these kind of coins, start to get a little bit weaker in front of Bitcoin. And we've seen that with Ethereum as well. I'll show that to you in just a second, when Bitcoin is on a rip. Beautiful hydration. Love it. We're in a bull market, so it's all VOS today, ladies and gents. And Ethereum, and I've been saying this for a while, right? I just don't think Ethereum's been strong. I think Ethereum, and by the way, this is something which I've spoken to you guys about a little bit already, but I don't talk about it much. But if you're somebody who thinks that you know, like you haven't done particularly well in this market, and you know, you wish that you had more or whatever, then like I said earlier on in this live stream, and if you are tuning in now, just rewind the entire stream, watch it on 2x to catch up if you have to, you know. But one of the things that I said is, you know, you do have, you know, I mean, this is like the beginning of all of the opportunities that are starting to surface themselves right now in this market. So, you know, I mean, if you're worried that you haven't been doing particularly well, just keep in mind that we haven't even broken the all-time high yet, right? And it's only after we break the all-time high that the real fun even, like, we're not even in the game yet, you know, like we haven't even walked onto the fucking pitch yet, the way I see it. Like, we're literally still just in the locker room, just waiting for something to happen. You know, and when you think of it that way, it's actually really, you know, quite reassuring. And one of the easiest ways to make money in my experience is just kind of shoving my Bitcoin into Ethereum and then turning my Ethereum back into Bitcoin. And I've done this so well on this YouTube channel and inside of 4Flies VIP, which is also linked down below, where you can kind of join by following these steps right here. You know, I've done this so well, and I do feel like there's a little bit more downside to come for Ethereum. And it's actually for the same reason that Bitcoin is bullish. It's because when you come down here previously for support, you're bouncing up pretty quickly, right? I mean, in fact, it is basically like the next day, or, you know, just around then, that you start to get these bounces, and then it actually takes the market a lot higher. But this time, since we've been here, it's just been 140 days. That's like, you know, 5 months really, you know, where we've just been trading sideways, right? And that's not what we did last time. We were able to resolve this drop pretty quickly last time, but this time we're not able to do that. So this is actually a kind of very typical body language before you roll over and start to collapse. And we've seen this unequivocally, you know, with Bitcoin as well, right? This is exactly the same thing that happened with Bitcoin's beloved $6,000 price area, where originally it is raining so much in Dubai. It is raining right now. It is unbelievable. It is unbelievable. We've we've just seen you know, a really nice big we've just seen a really nice big you know, pump up here with Bitcoin at the $6,000 price level, followed by another kind of nice big bounce. But then we kind of start, you know, spending too much time down here, and when you spend too much time down here, that's your warning sign that you're actually getting a little bit weaker. And of course, the market's giving it to us really clearly. Like, we're setting lower highs as well. It's very clearly got weak posture, you know, and then by the end, we just can't even get a bounce, right? And that's exactly where Bitcoin was before this drop. I traded this drop for a 60% profit. I traded this rise up for a 360% profit. A little bit of talk about meme coins. We're going to get to that in just a second, ladies and gents. You know, but that's exactly the kind of posture that these coins display when they're about to roll over and collapse. And that's what I'm seeing on Ethereum. I mean, look at it. It's just, you know, it's dying against Bitcoin right now. You know, any gains it makes getting erased just as quickly as it makes them. You know, right as we're trading at 66,600. Let's take a look at this a little bit more zoomed in. We do seem to be doing pretty well right now. Yeah, basically right back up to those highs. We are only $200 away from the high that we set earlier today. Shout out to Bharat, asking me, telling me that we need to go shopping for some new clothes. He's been trying to convince me to buy some clothes for a while. Guys, let me know in the live chat, do you think that I wear bad clothes? Do you guys have a problem with the clothes I'm wearing? A lot of people in my personal life don't like the clothes I'm wearing, but I personally I'm quite happy with it. And Sammy, can you please allow me to take some profits, bro? Porsche GT3 RS. To be honest, if you're getting a GT3 RS, yeah, you may as well just take your profits, because the only thing better than Bitcoin is a Porsche, I think. One sec. Yeah, just discussing a potential position with the team right here. Look at this price action, ladies and gents. Just here, just $75 away. We're about to set a new 2.5-year high, basically. Let's zoom in and get a little bit more degen while it's raining down here in Dubai in the desert. My Thread, loving the streams. How do you feel about One and BTT charts? First of all, thank you for the 50 Norwegian krona. We don't really do super chats on this channel, so that's super cool. Appreciate it, dude. I don't even know what 50 Norwegian krona is, but let's go ahead and look at BTT. Actually, we're going to stay on Bitcoin just for a second. I'll come back to your question later on. We are pumping right now, just kind of getting ready. Look at that. There's someone selling right here, taking profits. You love to see it. We're on the 1 second chart now. We're really going in, ladies and gents. And that's it. Yeah, we're basically, there we go. Is that the high? what's the high that we set earlier? Yeah, we've already breached it, haven't we? Yeah, we have. Just now, we've just breached it, I think. So we're just kind of getting ready. We're on the 1 second chart right now, ladies and gents. There we go. There we go. That's a new high. That's a new high. Smash up the likes, ladies and gents. That is a new high for Bitcoin. $66,900, right on the edge of that $67,000 price range. Absolutely phenomenal. There we go. We've hit it. Smash those likes up, ladies and gents. If you are loving this live stream, watching Bitcoin set a new high live on stream. Very, very cool indeed. There we go. Yeah, really, really pushing for it right now. 66,950. Yeah, let's go. Let's get the 67. Who's selling at 67, bro? Come on. There we go. That's 67. Bam, right there. We hit 67. Fantastic. Look at the OHLC up there. The high reads $67,000. So, yeah, we've just smashed 67K. Very, very cool indeed. Smash up those likes, ladies and gents. Make sure you are subscribed and got that bell icon checked so you don't miss out on this very time-sensitive content, live streaming at the perfect time. That is super, super cool indeed. Like I said, phenomenal offers for you to be taking advantage of this volatility free of charge. You can throw money for free into this market and any profits are yours. So that is super, super cool. Yeah, very, very cool to see Bitcoin has just broken that price level. What's going on with the altcoins then? So yeah, Solana is already kind of pumping up just a little bit off the back of that. I really wonder why it sold off like that. It seems to have happened relatively in isolation. FIL was moving up quite nicely, but FIL's actually down by 5% now. Let's see from the high, it's down by 8%. So that's an interesting one. I think, this is what you're waiting for, is when these coins that are doing well, when they kind of start retracing, that's actually when you start to get into really nice positions for coins. So let me take a look at a couple of these suggestions from our Norwegian brother over here. I'm guessing that one means harmony, so we're going to take a look at this. And if we do zoom out, what have we got here? Some macro resistance right now. And it's like, yeah, if we break this ceiling, that's where you're going to be expecting. Look at that. We're just above 67K right now. Let's zoom in on this just a little bit more. Nice. Yeah, we're holding above 67K. Let's go on the 1 second now just for fun. Yeah, we're forming a little bit of a bull flag, maybe not. We'll bring it back to the one chart and come back to Bitcoin in just a sec. We got Bitcoin on the right, so I'll be monitoring that for you all. But yeah, right here on the daily, very, very clear macro area of resistance, and the next kind of resistance sitting about 50% higher with huge upside to the all-time high. It's got an 11 times gain to get up to that all-time high, but it's also at a pretty clear area of resistance. I mean, this was a 70% drop followed by what is this here? A 70% drop followed by now. So this is very interesting, and this is the thing, is like I'd love to see like a pullback down to kind of price levels like right here. You'd love to see a drop down here and then kind of come back up, but the market just doesn't really have that posture right now, so I don't really know if we're going to get it. But this is quite crazy price action. It's not the kind of thing that I like to touch personally. And I think a lot of altcoins are like this, but this definitely seems to be one of the more explosive ones. I mean, let's take a look at this. Yeah, it's doubled in the last month, basically. So it has definitely been rising up pretty aggressively. Like I said, I mean, if it breaks this area of resistance, it doesn't really have anything for quite some time. It's not a great chart to read, honestly. But what is very clear to me is that this is definitely a kind of strong area of resistance. So I would be looking to see how we handle this particular price range, for what's going on in this market. So let me take a look at the other coin suggestion here, and then I want to go through even more of your questions. So if you have dropped your question and I haven't gotten back to you yet, please let me know what your question was again. Drop it again, and I will go through it with you all, ladies and gents. And if you have a specific chart you want me to look at or anything, then let me know about that. What the fuck is this chart, bro? I have no idea what... Am I reading that right? Yeah, it's BTT. I don't even know what I'm supposed to say about this, bro. This is crazy. I mean, it's kind of the same, I guess, because we've got macro resistance right here. This is the wildest chart I've seen in a while. I mean, but fuck, bro. Like, if it breaks resistance, that's like life-changing money, isn't it? Like, what the fuck? Nah, I don't. I must be looking at the wrong chart. Hang on, let me check if I'm looking at the wrong chart. BTT what USD on Kraken? Yeah, it looks like it might. Oh no, it is the right chart. Yeah, I mean, yeah. If it breaks resistance, then make like 10 million times your money or something, whatever. I don't really know, man. But yeah, let's see what else we've got here in the comments. Anybody else got some specific notes you want me to cover, questions, analysis, and so on, whatever, let me know. And then I've got some more. I haven't even shown you that chart that I promised you at 200 likes, so I'll get to that as well in just a bit. I've already shown it to you guys, like I said, but I do want to give you a little bit more of an update on that kind of thing. So let's see what else we've got here in the comments. Specifically just going for normal question. Your clothing style looks good. Thank you very much, dude. What are you guys saying about my clothing style? Because yeah, I know this one's a little bit controversial. Honestly, based my trades on what you actually wear on the stream, 99% accuracy. That's interesting. I don't know if that makes me feel like I should tell you I'm not your financial advisor or not. Sammy, you're too rich to be dressing like a brokey. You should be dressing better. Yeah, I mean, well, and this is the thing, is I came from the streets in London, so I wasn't really in the street life, but like I could have been, and I was like basically adjacent to it. I just chose to not go outside. But like that's kind of who I am. So like I honestly just don't care. But yeah, let's see what else we've got here in the comments. Sammy, I've been following you since like 2020. I usually just listen to your TA at work and stuff. Big ups. Thank you very much, Alec. Really appreciate the support, dude. You've been here for a long time, 4 years, man. Good stuff, man. Good stuff. I'm seeing 82K. We've got some altcoin suggestions. Traditional market analysis would be cool. Yeah, let's go ahead and look at some traditional market stuff. Gold, definitely one of the interesting charts today. I've got a bit of analysis to share with you guys on gold. Let me bring that up. We're up by 1.6%, 1.9% yesterday. And this is actually it's either at or very close. Yeah, it's very close to a new all-time high for gold right now. So there was only this wick, and I don't know if we're going to count this wick, but this was a huge bit of price action for gold right now, breaking out and performing really well, which is interesting because it has some potential implications on Bitcoin, because if Bitcoin is, basically at an all-time high and gold is, basically setting all-time highs, and the S&P 500 is at all-time highs, and the dollar is just kind of chilling, that's really like, where is the money coming from? Like, how is that all happening? Like, typically it's it's inverse correlations, right? The dollar is dropping, so gold is going up, or the gold the dollar is rising, so gold is going down. But we're not seeing that right now. Like, everything's just kind of chilling or going up at the same time, which is really highly unusual, I think. And definitely something a little bit strange in this market now. So I don't really know what to make of it. I think some of you guys who study economics a lot more than me are going to be able to, shed some light on that. And if you have any kind of theories, then please do let me know. But I think that is an interesting bit of kind of, almost novelty in the market right now, it seems like. Like I said, I mean, I've been pretty bullish on gold for a really long time. Obviously, I think Bitcoin is a better investment than that. I don't really need to say that out loud, do I? But some people really did miss the point on that one. I do think that this is, just a matter of time until it rises up to the 2200 level and, just going significantly higher and higher than that. So you are awesome saying I wear the exact same blanket t-shirts every single day, just different colors, one less thing to think about. I'd much rather be thinking about crypto than the latest fashion trends. Like to be comfy. Dude, I'm exactly the same as you. That is exactly what I do. In fact, I don't even pick out my clothes anymore. I get someone else to do it for me. That is how little I care. Look at all the real rich guys. They don't care how they dress. Yeah, there are exceptions. I've noticed a lot of quite rich people care how they dress, but I'm in Dubai, right? So Dubai is a little bit different in that way, maybe. Let's see what else we've got here. Yeah, so traditional finance, S&P 500, of course, also worth looking at. And S&P 500 looks like it's got a pretty bullish posture as well, right? I mean, it kind of closed up here at 5140, and we're now at 5138. So we're just like 2 points away from that all-time high, basically right there. Bitcoin, obviously, continuing to set highs right now as well on the 1 minute time frame. So this is the highest Bitcoin has been since late 2021. In fact, just to put this in perspective, Bitcoin hasn't been this high since this tiny bit of price action way back over here. Let's go ahead and replay this and just show you guys what this looked like on a shorter term time frame, like the 5 minute. You know, I mean, we really didn't hang around here for long. We kind of set the all-time high here at about 68, and then we came slightly higher up to about $69,000, and that was it. Like, we just started to fall right back down from there, and it was a huge sell-off from there. You know, and we kind of take a look at what's going on right now with our current day's price action, and you know, I mean, we're moving up, and we're not showing any signs of slowing down. We're at 67,200. Absolutely huge price action right now, ladies and gents, very strongly indicating that this market is searching for that all-time high, you know, to potentially breach it as well. So that is definitely very cool. How did I come into crypto? Dude, I joined this crypto space when I was 15 years old. It was a crazy long time ago. Let's see what else we've got here. Look at that, 67,400. Look at that. That is crazy. Let's zoom in even further and just look at this on the second time frame, just to admire this for a second. I mean, this is, you know, and we're not going back by long, but by much. I mean, this is only the last 20 minutes. We were live while all of this was happening. You know, we're just, you know, right now, just continuously every second, ladies and gents, you know, with these small exceptions here, which last like 3 minutes, setting a brand new high for this market cycle, which is absolutely crazy. Ladies and gents, if you are enjoying this live stream, do me a favor and smash those likes up. I haven't even gotten to the altcoin setups yet, ladies and gents. This is a very interesting live stream for sure. Let's see. Let's take a look at that inverse chart I wanted to show you. That's what I was talking about. You know, and I wanna give you guys some really, you know, good analysis on this. I've already kind of covered this with you all, so that's why I spoiled it just now. But you know, if you did miss that, then just make sure that you are subscribed, because you're missing out on absolutely huge, very powerful content here. This inverse chart is very useful for kind of removing your bias on the market, and it just flips everything upside down for you. And you know, I mean, you know, you just ask yourself, is this a buy or is this a sell? And I want to ask you guys the same question again. Put it in the comment section down below. Does this chart look like a buy or a sell right now? If you had to do one, you don't have a choice. I'm forcing you to make a decision. What is your decision? Are you buying this or are you selling it? Just let me know in the comment section as we go along. And obviously, we've got a very interesting kind of setup here on this chart, because we've produced really big bounces off this level. So naturally, and I'm going to see what you guys would put in the comments, but we've got buy already, 3-4 buys in a row. You know, everybody's saying that this is a buy, right? So it's a very obvious buy. Now I'm going to, and just in a second, I'm going to ask you guys to hold fire, and I'm going to ask you to answer the same question again. And this is where it's going to get a lot more interesting. So let's see what we've got here. We've got a couple of sells. We've got, this is a buy, but since that is inverted, it's sell. Second mortgage on the house, buy. Simon, absolutely love it, dude. We've got a couple sells, right? So some people think that we're actually breaking market structure. And now let me show you something else, right? And this kind of balances out the analysis. Is if you look at this in any other situation, what we're looking for is we bounce off this area of support, and then we, you know, rally up massively, and we come back down after a long time. Now what do you do, considering it's been a really long time? Well, historically in this situation, it was a sell every single time. It was a sell every single time, ladies and gents. Look at this right here. It was a sell. Anytime there was a gap, it was a sell every single time. It was a buy over here, to be fair, but, you know, on a more macro stage, it wasn't significant. And now, what is your answer? Is it still a buy or is it a sell? You know, and this does change things up a little bit, I think, understandably. I mean, you guys let me know in the comment section. Take, you know, 5-10 seconds to type out buy or sell. But I'm sure we're going to actually see some of the same people that were typing buy now switch their mind and say sell. You know, and I'm not holding the answer. Like, I don't know. But what I do know is that, you know, from a very traditional point of view for this market, this is obviously a buy. You obviously buy at this support level. It's maybe a little bit too far now to make the same point. But historically, you know, if you get that big gap and then you come back down to this price range, that is actually a really big sign that you've actually got to consider offloading your bags in this chart and then actually selling it. And of course, for Bitcoin, that means buying. So that is really interesting. But again, at the same time, we had Zuhaib in the comments earlier in this live stream mentioning that, you know, is this the first time Bitcoin's ever risen above an all-time high before a halving? And the answer is yes. Bitcoin is doing that potentially before a halving, which is very, very interesting. Savvy, I know you're seeing multiple requests for Theta analysis. Damn, you guys really want to see some Theta analysis. Let's take a look. Actually, no, we're not going to do that just yet. We're going to stick on this. But I think this is a really interesting chart to kind of, check yourself for your biases. You don't have to worry about looking at it often. If you're subscribed to this channel, you can rely on me to bring this to your attention, especially at pivotal points in the market. But I think it's really useful to evaluate the market from this particular perspective. Let's come back to the normal Bitcoin chart now, because we are continuing to set new highs as I speak at 67,400. I would just pull them back right now, just as I said that. Let's go ahead and take a quick look at Theta. Thing is, you guys are asking me to look at coins that, are not actually doing anything interesting. Like, these coins are already at their highs. They've already moved up. Like, I'm not interested in that, right? Like, if you're looking at a coin that's already moved up by 50% in the last fucking day, you're late, bro. Just move on. Look for the next thing. It could move up by another 50%. Yes, of course, that's true. But it's already made its money, right? Like, I mean, like I said, it could continue, and it very well might continue. Maybe the coin that's pumping will continue to pump because it's the coin that's pumping, right? And that's just how these markets work. So that actually makes a lot of sense, and I completely get where you're coming from. But it's actually generally easier and safer to make money in a slightly more boring way that I'm describing here, and that's what I want to focus your attention on. But anyway, because you guys want me to look at it so much, I will look at Theta for you all just now in this live stream. We're getting a lot of other requests for other coins as well. I'll get to them in just a bit, ladies and gents, but let me take a look at this right here on Theta, and please stop spamming the chat, whoever's doing that. And if we do take a look at what's going on with Theta, 4-hour time frame here, we are losing support. Let's look at Theta versus Bitcoin first of all. Yeah, that's a pretty big drop. Nice little double top there. Oh, this is an interesting Bitcoin chart. Let's see if there's like a little bit right there. So that's maybe a potential bounce zone for Theta. I want to throw a Fibonacci on here while we're here as well. That's not the right tool. All right, so 382 sits right there. So that's interesting. It doesn't look like this is going to stop dropping right now against Bitcoin, and then against the dollar, it's just lost a critical area, hasn't it? So let me look at this on a slightly more zoomed out time frame. I mean, it's not, I don't think these are good charts, but honestly, I think it depends more on Bitcoin, right? Like, if Bitcoin's going to continue to perform well, then these coins aren't necessarily going to tank. But if things do start getting, I mean, this is a bad place to be looking at this coin, though. Fucking hell. I mean, what is this rally? Just in the last, month or so, it's up by 200%, a 3 times gain. 3 times gain in 40 days. Fuck me. Absolutely crazy. From this low up to the high, 350% in 4.5 months. Fuck me. That is crazy. I'm not sure about that, ladies and gents. And I guess a big problem with this chart is this right here. It's almost like Solana. Its next support is actually really far away. But if you do start to get big drops, this is a phenomenal place to consider picking it up. In fact, if you start to get a big drop, it's probably going to drop through this area because, it might not. But yeah, that does actually start painting really nice support bias for Theta if it does end up falling below. If we end up pumping somehow, you're going to look for this, right? And you're going to try and get in there. So that's kind of what I'd be looking at over there. Again, all of these ideas are a lot less daunting, a lot less scary to consider when you know that you're getting so much free money to trade them with, because it might not be a trade that you typically would even make, but if you're getting free money to trade it, then it almost doesn't matter, right? You just kind of throw the money in and fuck it, just see what happens. You can even start a brand new trading challenge for yourself just using the free money that these guys give you. So that is super cool. Again, I am making the point, ladies and gents, because a couple people do miss this, but if you do want to get this $30,000 bonus with Bybit, you do have to do your KYC and you do have to start trading after you've signed up using my link. So that is really important. If you've been referred to Bybit by somebody else before, you can make a new account with the same KYC. So that's completely fine. Don't worry about it. And of course, these are some phenomenal no KYC alternatives, especially BingX with access to gold and other markets like that. Someone's asking me to take a look at FIL, and this was actually a coin that I was about to trade, but I didn't get in, which I'm a little bit bitter about because it has rallied up so nicely. But it is starting to pull back a little bit, and it's all just the same picture, isn't it? Really, guys, it's all just the same picture. Right from way back here, crazy huge macro area of resistance. clearly indicating that, yeah, I guess you could kind of draw it from here, that this coin has now become a little bit overextended. So I wouldn't really want to read into this too much, but it's certainly, like, from everything I'm seeing, it certainly looks to me like these altcoins have ran out of space to move without getting a massive breakout. And Bitcoin isn't necessarily done. So it's a little bit strange. I think if anything, it maybe just points to a bit of sideways for these altcoins from my perspective. And then, we start to see Bitcoin, give that spotlight off to these altcoins a little bit. I don't really know. I don't like what I'm seeing though. And I think that these are levels that I'd consider kind of moving back into Bitcoin at, just considering that Bitcoin looks like it is. And if Bitcoin, we're already seeing it just now during this live stream, right? Like, we've actually noticed this during the live stream. We've been looking at this throughout, but on the minute time frame here, like, Bitcoin is gaining dominance every single minute here, ladies and gents. I mean, we've been live, well, not for this long. This is 5 hours ago, but just, since the last 5 hours, in fact, just since the last hour, we've definitely been live for the last hour, haven't we? We've seen Bitcoin gain so much dominance in this market. I mean, to go up by 0.6% means these altcoins are getting fucking decimated, ladies and gents. Let's actually take a look at this on Total 3. We're seeing, Bitcoin is going up, but Total 3's market cap is dropping, pretty hard right now. We're actually seeing this play out right in front of us. And of course, if you don't know what Total 3 means, the total market cap excluding Bitcoin and Ethereum, and that's obviously a very useful metric to be considering. We're actually, and let's take a look at Total 2 as well, just out of curiosity. And we're seeing the same thing here. This is just excluding Bitcoin, so it includes Ethereum. And we're seeing big drops here, ladies and gents, just on the edge of that 1 trillion, 1.088 trillion market cap level, which is definitely very interesting, right? And you're seeing it on the Ethereum chart against Bitcoin. I mean, I said this just a couple of minutes ago, but it's continuing to get worse and worse. This chart is dying against Bitcoin. I mean, it is just falling against Bitcoin right here. And granted, this is the bounce zone, right? So this is the logical kind of buy area, but how long are you going to keep expecting this bounce zone to be a bounce zone? And we're not fucking bouncing. So at some point you got to say, well, actually, maybe this is a sign of weakness, and it looks like it might kind of start rolling below. And that's kind of what I'm seeing on this coin in particular. And that's why I don't think that these coins are particularly great investments right now. That's why I'm actually quite comfortable and happy being in Bitcoin. And then with these coins, if they get, because nothing's guaranteed, but if they get weaker, I'd actually be quite interested in buying these altcoins back when they're weaker against Bitcoin and comparatively when Bitcoin is stronger. So that would actually be very, very cool indeed. We are very nearly at 300 likes, ladies and gents. Thank you all very much for smashing them up during this live stream. Definitely very, very cool. Let's see what else we've got here in the comment section before I start taking a look at some of those interesting altcoin plays that I had to show you guys in this live stream. And how long have we actually been live for? It has been an hour. Yeah, it's been about 70 minutes now. So definitely not bad. Let's see what else we've got here. I did see one request for Polkadot, which I want to go through. So let's take a look at that. Looks like it's the same case. Yeah, I'm actually kind of tired to see. You guys don't identify good charts, do you? Damn, yeah. Let me show you. You know what? I'm taking the stream back. Let me show you a couple charts now. It's my turn. Take a look at this one right here. Here's ARB. This coin is getting smashed a little bit right now, minus 4%. But what we're looking for, ladies and gents, and this is absolute fucking gold dust. I need you guys to just, grab your notepad and start taking some notes here for this live stream, ladies and gents, because this is the real deal. What I'm about to be telling you guys right here. I just want to right there. Get your notepads out. This is actually very, very important. You guys are, you're all looking at coins that have already moved up by 50%. You're already looking at coins that have moved up by 300, 200% in the last month or so, in the last 2-3 months. Cool. Okay. They're sexy. They're exciting. I get it. But you're missing the point, ladies and gents. There are much better opportunities to make money. And, you've got to be able to spot these opportunities or come to a YouTube channel like this where I'll do it for you, because otherwise you're just going to keep on chasing trains that have already left the station, ladies and gents. And I get it. You want to be on a ride that's already started, but here, check this out. You can actually be on a ride that hasn't started yet and make some really, really good use of these opportunities. And before I tell you about it, I do want to highlight to you guys these phenomenal offers that are available, because you can use this free capital and throw them into these markets, which is super cool. BingX, a no KYC alternative to Bybit, which is the best exchange in the game. Check them all out. Free money everywhere for you guys. All you've got to do is do your KYC and start trading on Bybit or just start trading on BingX here for those bonuses. But here is ARB. This is an interesting chart. And the reason it's interesting, and I'm going to show this to you side by side, this is going to blow your fucking mind, ladies and gents. Smash those likes up if you're excited. You know when I tell you this that I'm about to give you guys some real gold dust here. Take a look at this right now. Take a look at this. You're already jumping ahead. I know a few of you already know what I'm about to say. Here we go. Bitcoin right here forming an absolutely beautiful, more or less just kind of ascending triangle pattern, right? And we can kind of see that looking a little bit something like this, and of course with that horizontal resistance level and then pumping up really, really nicely, right? So that's something that we already saw in Bitcoin. And by the way, that was just yesterday. So that's not far away. That's not, a long time ago. That was literally just yesterday. And then we've still got certain, like you guys are talking to me about coins like, Polkadot that have already, reached their highs and they're like at macro resistance and stuff like that. Guys, take a look at this right here. This is very interesting. This is ARB, which is forming the exact same pattern that Bitcoin was in yesterday, but because it's an altcoin, it's lagging behind a little bit, and it's still got that really, really bullish posture. This is absolutely huge, ladies and gents. And in fact, if ARB starts to come down here, that's going to be a potential entry for a leverage position as well, right? Right now it's probably just a spot buy, but that's completely fine because you can buy coins spot for free with Bybit. You're not even going to pay a fee. You can go in and out, in and out, in and out as much as you like. And you can actually just hold any coin you like on Bybit and trade on leverage, which is really cool because everywhere else, you've got to hold USDT or you've got to hold Bitcoin. But with Bybit, you can hold anything you like and then trade anything you like, which is really, really cool. So definitely check that out with the unified trading benefit that they've got. But huge pattern here indicating some upside for this coin right now. And actually if we kind of take a look at where some potential bounce points could be on this chart, let's throw a fib on from, I think it makes sense to draw a fib from here. We have got the 382 level right here at $1.78. So I don't know if we're actually going to come down that low again, but maybe down to these lows at like $1.83 if it happens would be a really nice place to kind of consider this trade. And of course, also on the flip side, just kind of these back tests, right? Like you get the breakout, you buy that retest, and then bam, you're off to the races, right? Really, really cool chart. Here's another one, which is also very similar. These are, like I said, I had to steal the limelight back from this show a little bit. I love you guys very much, don't get me wrong, but, I feel like you need a bit of Four Flies love right here, to really see what's going on in this market. Here's another one that I want to show you guys right now on the hourly time frame. Again, very, very similar chart pattern here. We've got your same kind of ascending triangle pattern taking place, taking form right here. But of course, a little bit further along, in fact, and, very, very similar price action. We're broadly speaking setting our higher lows, broadly speaking, and we're keeping the same ceiling. This is your perfect typical, chart pattern before things actually start blowing up and getting crazy, right? So, we're literally just fucking in a time machine right now, ladies and gents, on this live stream, watching something that has already happened before it's happened. And that doesn't mean it's actually going to take place, right? But when everything else is already pumped up, like, do you really want to chase them? Or do you want to look for the things that are still a little bit more low key? Because one thing we got to keep in mind, ladies and gents, is that as this thing keeps going up, it gets more and more crazy, right? Well, if it gets more crazy, you've got more upside as well. So that is absolutely critical to be keeping in mind in this market. If you're not able to identify patterns like this, if you're not able to look for things like this, then again, like I said, don't worry, because you got me right here. So make sure you're subscribed and you're hitting that like button up, and you're completely fine. And at the same time, if you don't do that, and if you don't even have me, you are literally just going to be chasing gains the entire time without actually ever making anything, because you're just going to be the last guy on every train instead of actually boarding these trains before they leave the station and just having a calm ride, guys. I'm not about this life of like frantically looking at the top gainers of the day and, aping into something because you have no fucking strategy, and then not knowing what's going on and being frustrated and getting scared and having FOMO, and you're fucking sweating and your balls are sweaty too now because, it's just all over your body, and you just you cannot contain yourself, and you've seen something on Twitter and it's just all so scrambled. Like, no, man, just get out of bed, chill, go for a walk, get some sunshine, follow Daddy Huberman's protocol. You guys already know it. Follow the Huberman protocol, get some sunshine in your eyes, chill, relax, wait 2 hours for your coffee so you don't get the cortisol spike. take your coffee down, have a good chill day. These charts aren't going anywhere. There are always new opportunities every single day, and they're always better and better. You need that abundance mindset, ladies and gents. If you didn't make the money today, you're going to make it tomorrow. And if you don't make it tomorrow, you're going to make it next week. It's not going anywhere. We haven't even set an all-time high yet, for fuck's sakes. I mean, we haven't even entered the game. And once we set an all-time high, like once we break this all-time high, if we do, and then we set a new one, and then we enter a bear market, we've still got that market to trade as well. So, there is so much here that, you really don't need to worry about if you're missing anything or if a certain coin is flying and, like it's at a macro resistance level and how you're interested in it and you're asking for flies to analyze it. You don't need to be that guy, man. There's so much more out there that you can take into account, and you can just have a way more chill time doing it as well. So that's my take on coins like this. Like I said, take advantage of these phenomenal offers that are available to you in the description down below if you're interested. If you're already signed up to Bybit using my link, but you haven't got this bonus, then you need to start trading. You need to do your KYC. That's how the bonus will come in. So that's super, super cool. And of course, show this channel some love if you do appreciate it. We are still sitting up here at $67,000, which is super, super cool. Let's take a look at some more of the questions that we have in the live chat, ladies and gents. Thank you all for tuning in to this live stream. It's been another phenomenal one. We've just set a new high throughout this cycle, which is super, super cool. We've got a couple of requests for meme coins. I will take a look at that for you all later on in this live stream. Somebody said they don't like KYC with Bybit. That is completely fine. Obviously, there are other alternatives, but please keep in mind if it's not allowed in your country, then you can't use any of the alternatives either. Most people are getting urges to FOMO buy coins that already ran up, so they want someone to validate their bad decisions. That's exactly what it was, bro. That's exactly what it is. I've been there before. I know how the game works. It's not for me. Let's see what else we've got here. In the Bitcoin just flipped Meta. Interesting. I'm guessing you mean in terms of market cap. Thank you, Samuel. All these fools asking about coins that already made their moves. They want validation for their FOMO decisions. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't call them fools, man. Like I said, I've been there before, but fuck it, maybe I was a fool. I do definitely think that, we are. Oh, another alert right there. Damn, Solana's dropping even more again. Look at that. Where's Solana at? 127. Damn, what's going on with Solana? Look at that. It's just falling really hard. Is it the only coin falling, or is it? Yeah, it's Bitcoin's dominance. Look at that. That's Bitcoin's dominance doing all of this, ladies and gents. That is Bitcoin's dominance right there. It's all Bitcoin. It's all Bitcoin. Look at that. Very, very interesting, right? Very, very interesting. What's going on with Ethereum? We're continuing to drop for it. It's exactly what I said, ladies and gents. If we look at total 3, for example, or even total 2, I mean, it's turned into a, fairly substantial candle right here on the hourly. I mean, we've seen worse for sure, but, we are definitely losing a bit of value here across the altcoin market. Let's look at total 2. Yeah, it's not as bad, but it's definitely not fantastic. We are definitely seeing some drops here in this crypto market right now. We've got a couple of requests for meme coins as well. I guess this is a good time for me to show you a couple more charts that I have for you all in this YouTube video. What have I got for you? Let me bring them up real quick. We have got... Oh yeah, I've already showed you ARB. I've already showed you HBAR. Let's just go ahead and take a look at some altcoins. Actually, I think this is going to be really interesting, a very, very good one to take a look at. What are we starting with? Let's start with the king. Let's start with Doge. Doge is obviously the first one that I think we should be looking at if we're being reasonable about this. So let's go ahead and take a look at this right here. And where are we at? So we're at 17 cents. If we bring this up onto the daily, wow, it's just been another massive lightsaber, hasn't it? God damn. Okay, well, again, it's macro resistance, isn't it? So okay, what can I say about this chart? Honestly, all of these altcoins really are just telling me that this market is going to start crashing now. That's actually what this is telling me right now. And Bitcoin isn't really showing me the same thing right now, which is a little bit strange, but there's an RFK coin for the next US president. That's hilarious. Is he even still running RFK? Bless him. He seems really cool, but Trump Supreme Court decision was in today, so they tried to ban him on the Colorado primary ballot. Was it primary? I think it was primary ballot, and that was overturned by the Supreme Court, which is really interesting. It wasn't primary ballot, was it? I don't know. It might have been, but that was actually overturned, so he can actually run on that ballot. It was crazy that they even did that. I'm not even a Trump fan, but you just can't block a president, can you? But anyway, whatever. Dogecoin right here, 17 cents, just kind of battling this resistance area. I mean, there's not a whole lot to say. It's not a good chart, ladies and gents. It's just not. I mean, it could still keep going up and it just wouldn't make sense. But then again, it's a meme coin, so they're not really meant to make sense, are they? Let's take a look at this right here. Pepe, wow, an all-time high for Pepe. Absolutely fantastic, and still a chart that makes no fucking sense. So you buy this at your own peril. If this thing, pardon me, starts coming back down, it does not have support until it falls by 77%. So if you fancy reliving the Bitcoin bear market, which took place across basically a year and a bit inside of probably just a couple of days, then Pepe might be a phenomenal buy, because if this thing does start crashing again, you are going to experience that pain very, very quickly. So you've got to really enjoy losing your money to be interested in stuff like that. It was the primary ballot. Interesting, yeah. So quite crazy, isn't it? Sadly, Americans are so superficial that they won't want RFK Jr. I think it is a little bit sad, but I think RFK is, for all it's worth, I think he is still, maybe a little bit too socialist, which is, kind of scary. I mean, he definitely seems pretty good compared to others, but I do get some socialist vibes from him. But I guess that's what the US is a little bit, isn't it? Let's see what else we got here in the comments. Any other questions? We got general questions. Drop them in the live chat, ladies and gents. You got altcoin suggestions. Drop them down below as well. I am headed toward a nap. I can already feel it. I might just go for a little nap because I got another meeting after this. That is crazy. I'm actually so done with today. It's been non-stop this entire day. I might just go nap for a little bit. That'd be really nice, right? Just let you guys enjoy the Bitcoin price action and just chill, because that is me, isn't it, really? I am just all about that ABC lifestyle, always big chilling, ladies and gents. If that's not me, then I don't know what is. Let's see what else we've got here in the live chat. We got a couple altcoin suggestions. Yeah, a little bit of Cardano. Let's look at Cardano as well. Cardano's rallied up really nicely. Again, they're all the same chart though, aren't they? They've all just reached macro resistance. So, what can you say? It's resistance. It should, resistance is where prices drop. Like, I just can't really say much more than that. If we do look at this on a shorter term time frame, I mean, maybe a Fibonacci, maybe that's going to shed some light on this. I mean, the support's not close, is it? And it's not looking like super healthy either. I can't really find like a bullish silver lining to this. I just don't really see it, to be honest. I wish I could tell you something bullish about coins like this, but I really, I don't know if I see it. I'm actually more interested in coins that are losing. IMX getting smacked, apparently. Let's take a look at that. I like the idea of coins starting to lose a bit of value, because that's where that there's a bit of pop potential there. This is looking, not so bad actually along those same lines, right? I mean, I don't know if there's more price history to this chart. By the way, you can click on this dinosaur. Look at that. But I don't know if there's more price history to this chart, but this looks like a pretty bullish chart to me actually, because we're actually just looking at some kind of like this, right? Like, you got a bit of a symmetrical triangle starting to form. So this is, again, just by the looks of it, just one of those coins that hasn't quite moved up yet. So that is definitely interesting. Link, yeah, let's take a look at Link. Link is actually a coin that I wanted to look at myself, because it is one of those coins that hasn't actually moved up very much. So let's actually take a look at this. This one's quite important for me. Let's actually extend this fib and see if there's anything useful here. Bring it all the way down here. 382 level sitting at $18. That looks important. I definitely like the look of that. And well, now it's looking nice. I mean, it is dropping down. It's at a psychological area of support. Look at that. Wow. It's got strong technical support here. It's got psychological support. Let's take a more short-term fib on this as well. We've got, yeah, the 382 support right here. We've got the 618 golden pocket right here. Let's draw that and then remove the fib, and let's take a look at the fixed range volume point of control. And we've got, yeah, we're at the point of control right now. I mean, that is strong. That is definitely what you want to see, isn't it? Let me make this a little bit more fair and not do that, but instead do this. And that point of control remains in the same place. So that is definitely, I think, quite important. How far can we push it, just out of curiosity? Yeah, point of control is just smack bang right here, isn't it? Yeah, it only changes when you make it very short term, but it's all because of this price action, isn't it? Like, this is a very magnetic price zone for Chainlink, so that's definitely interesting. And yeah, I mean, if we extend it back, maybe not going to be so useful anymore, but yeah, you know, I don't know if I see us coming back down to these kind of price areas. So let's take a look at some of our other indicators. We know that this is a really important price level now, basically like right up there. But let's see what our Ichimoku cloud is saying. All right, so we got some support over there. Let's see what the 4 hour is saying. It's not quite here yet, but it's in the same price zone just in about 5 days from now. So that is also looking pretty good from that perspective. We've also had the wick, so you know, you wouldn't really expect a second wick unless it is indeed going to collapse, but you wouldn't expect like this kind of thing to happen because it's already happened. So that's good. Actually, no, Link does do that. This actually does make Link a little bit more dangerous to trade potentially. 4 hour EMA, let's see what that's showing us. We've got beautiful support there, but we're about to lose it, so it's not looking that great right now, but it's not looking horrible either. What do I reckon Chainlink could top out at? I got no clue, man. I don't really look at it that way. It's not really at macro resistance in the same way though, is it? No, it's not. I think it's already broken it. I think its macro resistance was back here at about 15. That was its strong area, but it's already broken that. So it's honestly a bit more like Ethereum in that way, isn't it? Which makes sense because it's a major coin. Where is the resistance on this chart? Yeah, this is a little bit difficult to decipher. Let's go ahead and do this and just see what's going on here. So we've got a couple of important ranges. We've got this right here followed by this, but we're here right now, so we don't really need to worry about that, followed by the actual point of control. So that's going to be our most important level. Let's make that a little bit more opaque. And yeah, I think that's good enough really to take a look at for now. So we're basically at the top of this resistance range, aren't we? Yeah, we don't really need to worry about this one. And we've got a little bit more resistance up ahead, but that starts at about $23, $23.50. So, yeah, and this is where a lot of the reversals have happened. So this definitely does make sense. We can kind of tighten that up a little bit, can't we? Maybe bring it a little bit higher too. And then this is obviously going to be the most important price level, probably also just a touch higher like that. Yeah, I mean, it's not too bad, is it, really? It's not too bad. Let's stretch these boxes out so we can actually see them across the present day. And that's some real pump potential, isn't it? Yeah, 20%. But, I mean, I don't know if it's going to pump from here. It doesn't look like the kind of posture before a pump. You'd want to see a bigger retracement, wouldn't you? It doesn't, I don't know, this chart just looks a little bit weird to me. I think that's kind of the only problem I have with this chart, to be honest. Let's take a look at Bonk. Someone's suggesting Bonk. Okay, yeah, do you know what? Never mind. Let's just go back to, let's just go back to Link. I just can't be bothered now. I just can't. I think, you know, honestly, I can't keep, like, fucking my IQ like this. I just can't do it. In one live stream, you know, I only have so much capacity for that kind of stuff. But let me see, like, what else is going to make me feel confident about this? What else is going to make me feel confident about Link? What else do I need to see? Yeah, what else would make me kind of push me over the edge? Honestly, I think it's a nice fib retracement, isn't it? A nice fib retracement would be one of the main things that would make me feel good about this chart. Let's zoom out a little bit more and yeah, that's a really nice breakout. It's still raining here in Dubai. What is going on, man? How is it still raining here? Look at that 382 retracement. Wow. That would be really nice, wouldn't it? Imagine that, huh? Imagine Link comes back down here, all of this confluence, and then carries on. Honestly, that would be something that makes me really... But this is what I'm saying, ladies and gents. Like, I am actually very, very bullish. I just need to see these coins enter a healthier place. But this is really far away. I mean, from current price, this is a further 22% down. And from the high, this is a 28% drop. So it's definitely not light what I'm describing. And, I don't even know if it's going to happen. But I certainly don't think it's super unlikely. I think it's hard to imagine now, but I don't think it's super unlikely. This would be a really nice, potential level, wouldn't it? Sammy, stop being a bear. You know what I mean? Like, it's just not like sexy sentiment, is it? Like, you guys, you won't like to hear it. I don't like to say it publicly on YouTube either, but, I mean, to me, this is just, this is the healthiest, kind of thing I see right now. You want to get these nice, big, juicy retracements, don't you? That's how I feel about this, I think. But again, I mean, short term, it does look really good right here. It does. It does look really good right here, short term, I think. Let's see what else. SUI. I don't know if I'm saying that right. What does it even mean? This is a nice one. Yeah, again, I like these coins that are pulling back, because this is actually where you can... but on a serious note, you're one of the only people that indicates bearish sentiment at the moment. I do feel like that, right? But again, it's a tricky position because I'm not actually selling. I'm not actually removing, shaving off my long positions particularly much anyway, because I can't do that yet unless I'm invalidated, right? But for me, it's a primary consideration is to make sure I don't lose money, because if you lose money, then you're not really helping yourself. But look at this, SUI, whatever you call it, is down by 26%. Inside of 3 weeks. So that's pretty cool. Is there a Fibonacci here though? Is there an interesting Fibonacci retracement on this chart? Because that would really seal the deal, wouldn't it? Look at that. We've already come down into the golden pocket, 61866. Let's zoom out a little bit. Yeah, we've already come down into the golden pocket. So, you're basically expecting this again. And then bam, up we go. Or at least, maybe not that high, but at least, like up here, and then you've got, a little 9% and then back down, but some sort of bounce for sure. That would definitely make sense. All right, ladies and gents, I'm going to call it a night for this one. I am pretty tired. I hope you have enjoyed this one. If you have, you know what to do. Hit up those likes, subscribe, tick the bell, do all of that good stuff. If you have enjoyed this one, you want me to do more of them, then let me know. I'm definitely happy to do them while the price action is exciting. But obviously, it's just these live streams, like I always say, they just, they don't reach viewers the way videos normally do. And that's obviously quite frustrating because I'm sitting here for like 3, 4, 5 times longer and reaching less people. But I guess I'm still happy to do it. I just want you guys to be able to watch it, But yeah, thank you all very much for the support. We'll figure this out. I think we're going to keep doing them anyway, so don't worry about that. You know what to do. Like, subscribe, bell, check out all of these phenomenal offers as well. And I will see you all in the next... Oh, wait, one more note I wanted to give you guys. I have been talking with the guys who put me in touch with Deepcoin a little bit, and they have pulled out of the Chinese market. They've been given notice to pull out of the Chinese market. And I think that was by the Chinese government. So as a precaution, I went ahead and withdrew my money off Deepcoin. It was successful. Everything's fine. There's no big deal. But I wanted to let you guys know that I did that as part of like full transparency. I've never said anything like this before on the channel before. I'm going to say this again in some of my next videos as well, because just in case any of you guys want to know, like if you take that seriously, what I'm doing, then consider the same thing, removing your funds off Deepcoin. I think it's fine. Like I said, everything was good. But if you guys ever have an issue with any exchange I've ever worked with, just come straight to me, contact me directly using this Telegram link, and I will do my absolute best to fix it for you. We've always been able to help. So I'm always going to be able to extend that out to you guys. So if you've ever, been referred to a platform by me and you're ever experiencing a problem, we've still got really good ties with every exchange we've ever worked with, and I just wanted to let you guys know about this Deepcoin thing. So I'm off it. I've moved my funds off it. Whether or not you want to do the same thing is up to you. You know, I think there are other phenomenal options. And for me personally, you know, if an exchange is, look, pulling out of China is not the biggest deal ever, right? Like a lot of exchanges have already done that, including Bybit and so on, I think. You know, but I wasn't getting the right vibe from them, and that's why I decided to come out. So, you know, you guys do as you like, but I am letting you know, you're fine if you withdraw now. But like I said, if anybody has a problem, please contact me ever. I don't mean now, I mean in the future, whenever. I am always here for you. So there you go. That's an important note. I need to say that earlier in the next video, but I did want to let you guys know. All right, guys, thank you all so much for tuning in. You know what to do, and I'll see you all in the next one. Cheers.